life form. The idea that life on Earth or other planets maybe was delivered by some cosmic being or divine creature or force.
I always appreciate the unique challenges that working on the body bring, especially having had so much experience just working on canvas, to have not only a client's ideas, but you also have the canvas itself, which is going to have limitations but also opportunities. And the trick is to find where those opportunities are.
Tried to really dive into figuring out the physics of what would happen to this object that was hurtled through space and had to make it through re-entry into a planet's atmosphere. We figured it would have to consist of a very rigid outer shell that would become very pockmarked and scratched and burned up as it entered the atmosphere and got smashed with space debris during its journey. We thought it might have some kind of a soft, delicate, vulnerable interior, the seed of life that it was transporting. So we kind of dove into the physics of how that aspect would work, referencing all kinds of deep sea jellyfish and gelatinous creatures that have a lot of translucency and bioluminescence to them.
When I'm talking to them, I'm hoping to have this flash, this moment in time when I kind of see the thing. And I can imagine the different elements I would use and the different stages that I would go through in order to arrive at that. And once I've had that vision, I'm going to want to do the piece.
We didn't want total creative control from the beginning, and yet we weren't merely reproducing a preset idea that the client gave us. So the whole project is about collaborative process.
We wanted to visualize this thing as it would really be. It would be bound by laws of physics. It would actually have reasons for the way that it looked. It wouldn't just be made fancifully. This is something that evolved for the purpose of making great distances and delivering a very delicate, very important payload. And we wanted that to be obvious just by looking at it. We were attracted to his idea partly because there's so many different ways that it could even be read. You know, there's a lot of great metaphor in that. It also has a lot of really potent visual potential.
And so what would that look like if it was an object that was hurtled through space and found its way to a planet and entered the atmosphere and deposited itself in the ocean and was the genesis of life on a desolate, barren planet?
The entire process was quite involved and went through various iterations and evolutions to reach a very involved and very in-depth final result. That'll be a very impressive and unique tattoo.